Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to use the BetterPress and I'm going to color with my Copics or Copics. So I do have this BetterPress of the month, which is the hummingbird in this flower. And then I did die cut out this circle. And so I was going to try and do the circle on just regular cardstock. I have only used my BetterPress platform this is the third time. So I was mostly playing around with it and seeing how it would work. So I did this with just regular cardstock. If I was going to do regular cardstock again, I would add a little more ink to the plate, and I probably add another shim underneath to get a better impression. So when I look at this, I decided I needed to move the sentiment down a little bit, and a quick little look there on how it didn't, it was okay, and I could have used it, but I have some of the BetterPress paper because I literally just got this. So I'm smooshing the ink for the BetterPress ink in. So I'm not dragging it, but I am trying to get a good amount. When I put it through my Big Shot this time around, I do notice that because this paper is a lot thicker than regular cardstock, it definitely felt different putting it through, and I got a much better impression. So I'm quite happy with that. I do want to die cut this into a circle, so I'm going to put that aside with this, and then I'm going to grab my Hip Kit Club nesting circles. It has I've stitched in it. I don't think it's supposed to be a stitching die, but it has this nice little detail around the outside corner or outside edge. No corners on a circle. And so I'm going to run that through really quick. And it was that's how slick it can be. Look how pretty that looks. Oh, it was an awesome impression. I am so impressed on how easy this is. I embossed a white piece of cardstock and put it on a black card blank. And that's a Spellbinders embossing folder too. I think it's from this same month that the Hummingbirds came from, which I think was January. And then I was just showing you that around that embossing piece of paper, I did this blue, and then I did color to play with the colorings first. And so these two hummingbirds came from that BetterPress plate that the flower came from, and one of them came from the extra when you get the whole caboodle, and so I have that one too. So I am showing you the markers, and I know they're going by super fast. They are in my description below on what colors I've used. So this one is Y2 Canary Yellow. And then the one I'm doing the feet is Sand, or E33. And then the blue ones that I'm doing, the darkest blue on the hummingbird is BG49. And then the next darkest one is BG23, and then G00. So I'm doing the darkest parts on the hummingbird's wings first. And then I'm going to do the second darkest and then the lightest. And so when I do the next ones, I'm going to pull the color a little bit from the darkest part. So I'm going to overlap that medium color with the dark, and then it makes it blend a whole lot nicer. So you don't get the same harsh lines if you pull it that way. And you can do lighter to darker, darker to lighter. I'm sure people who color more often and have training with the markers will tell you there's a right way and a wrong way. I do whatever I want. So, because I'm not a trained, skilled person with the markers, I'm just playing. So then here's this lighter one, and I am again just going across all of it to pull those colors and blend them nice. I find that it's got a good change of color, good dimension to it, good shading. And so I'm doing both of them at the same time because I do want them to be similarly colored. And then I'm going to use these two pink ones, which are R11 is the lighter one and R22 is the darker one. And so I did the lighter one first, and then I'm going to do the darker, and then I'm going to go back and do the lighter one again so that I get a middle value and the lighter stays a little bit lighter, and so that I don't go over the whole part where I want the lightest piece to be, but it still blends nicely. And I missed a little bit of eye on this one, so I'm just adding that little bit of the bluey teal. And then the eyes, I just added this canary yellow too, because why not? And then those two are done. They're not as dark as my original two, but it doesn't matter. And then this is a 0 colorless blending. And so when you go outside of the lines, if you catch it soon enough, you can use this blending one and it takes most of the color out. So, and then I'm going to fussy cut this bird, the hummingbird. I'm sorry, my brain just went, what am I doing? So notice with my fussy cutting, I know I'm like right at that bottom of the screen there, but my scissors are staying straight and everything else is moving. So that's the key part. Oh, a little bit closer there. That's the key part when you're fussy cutting, is you're moving the thing you're cutting, not your scissors, which makes it super easy to do. And so I did fussy cut around the other one as well. And now I'm going to color the flowers. So the flowers, I pulled out 4 different colors. And so the first one I'm using is that canary yellow again. And then I'm going to use Y15, cadmium yellow, Y17, golden yellow, and YR23, yellow ochre. So I'm starting with the canary yellow, and I know it looks really bright and fluorescent and weird on the screen to start with, but I want these ones to be the highlights. And I decided to do it this way first. And then, the next one I'm using is the next darkest. And so I'm going to do the lines in the petals and around the edge of the petal as well. And so as you do this, it does tone down that yellow quite a bit. And so that the brightest part of this yellow is actually going to be more of a highlight than the whole color, even though it looks really bright to start with. And I'm coloring in the same position for my hand for the most part, and I'm just moving my circle around. And then I'm doing the next darkest one, which is Y15. No, this is Y17. This is the orangey one. And this doesn't pull out as far. And then the darkest one is this YR23, I think. I'm pretty sure that's that one. And I'm just going around the very middle. And then I'm going to take that canary yellow again, and I'm going to pull all the way out from that middle. So it does blend all of those colors, but the canary yellow isn't as overpowering now. So I'm going to do something similar with my greens, and I have YG03, YG17, and G28. And so I'm going to start with the G28. It's the darkest one that I have. And I'm just doing the veins of the leaves down the center and the different lines. And then I'm going to take the next dark one, which is YG17, and then color in by the veins, some of the edging. Wherever I feel like it needs it. And then I'm going to take this lightest one, which is YG03, and color all of it over again so that I'm blending now as well and pulling some of that darker color out. And then when it dries, it does have a really nice definition of those leaves. And then this bottom part has some flowers. So I'm going to do those in the canary yellow and in the Y15, but I'm not going to add any of the other color to these smaller flowers, mostly because smaller flowers are usually a lighter shade and a little bit brighter than the bigger ones typically. So that was my thought process on that. And just the little bit of the darker. And then the rest I'm going to color as leaves. I think they're mostly leaves, but it's hard to tell sometimes on these. So they're all getting leaves. And so I'm starting with that lightest color, which is the YG03. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the YG17, I think is the one I grab. Yeah, it's the YG17. Just add a little bit of definition and a different texture. I really like the way this turned out. And I really liked like the BetterPress ink. When it was heavy in the middle, some of that did bleed for the ink, but most of it didn't. So I think I just didn't wait long enough. I could have heat set it and that probably would have helped as well, but meh, I'm happy with it. And so those are going to go on there. This is actually a card for my mom. And so her birthday was the weekend before this. And so hopefully she's got this already because she watches my channel. So Mom, if you haven't gotten it yet, it's in the mail. So I'm going to glue this to the top. And then I'm going to glue my hummingbirds on. So this one's going to frame in that wishing you a lovely day. And then the other one's going to go on the top. And yeah, it's going to cover up some of the leaves that I colored, but oh well. I like how it looks, so it's all good. And then I decided that inside the black card, I'm going to do another circle about the same size, or not about the same size as the circle on the outside. So I do have somewhere to put in an inside sentiment and write her a message. So I'm just going to use one of the pieces I already have cut, but was not the one I wanted to use. And that ring I can use for something else, not a big deal. And then this is going to go on the inside, but I am going to stamp a sentiment first. I think this one's going to go there. And so I'm going to grab my stamp platform. And I have a little sticky mat inside, which makes it super easy because I don't have to use my magnets then. And then I'm going to grab this sentiment from close to my heart for happy birthday. I like it. It's a little kind of scripty, but I thought it worked. Well, not scripty at all, but I thought it worked. So I don't have too many sentiment stamps, so it might be something I need to look more into. And then I didn't notice that the magnet was in the way, so I will move it out of the way right away here. There we go. And that gives me a better impression because now it's not in the way. And so I just left that on for now and I'll clean it off in a second. Not on screen. And then just making sure this is going on the right direction. And then gluing this on so that it stays. And then this hummingbird, which is a little bit brighter, but that's all good. I use the same markers. That pink I started with the darker one instead of doing it like I did earlier. And yeah. So this is it close up. If you liked my video today, even though it's not scrapbooking and it's card making, I would love the thumbs up. If you're new here and you would like to see me do some more of this, just let me know in the comments below. I have another card that I have made, but I am planning on doing some more. And thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great day.